Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very first guest today is this incredible actress known by the name of Leanne Johnson, who's going to be playing the role of Barbara Gordon in this incredible fan film series called Barbra. Coming very soon, so I'm about to add Leanne into the live now and have a chat with Leanne. So yeah, here we go. Hello, how's it going, Leanne?
It's going really good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Thank you so much for taking the time to come onto my show. It's such a pleasure having you on. To people
Of
that
course.
don't know who you are, if you can give a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right
Sure.
into the questions.
Yeah, of course. My name's Leanne Johnson. I'm an actor, and I got invited on the show because I'm playing a pretty awesome character. So we're going to talk about it.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now, Leanne. So for my very first question, so you're going to be playing a very iconic role, an incredible role of Barbara Gordon in this incredible film called Barbra. What can people
Mhm.
expect to see from your Barbara?
Nothing they've seen before. I can tell you that. I think one of the most important things is that you bring yourself into the role. And so I think honestly that's something I'm going to do that is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to bring some of my own flair in terms of my physicality. I'm a Krav Maga self-defense system fighter, so my style of fighting is very aggressive and very brutal. Think like Atomic Blonde, think like John Wick. So we're going to see some physical nods to the original Barbara Gordon, but we're also going to see some of my own personal flair and the physicality, as well as the emotional aspect of what happens in this film with Barbara. So yeah, so you get me in the role. That's what's different.
Yay! You're going to be phenomenal. I can already tell.
Oh,
Like from
thank
your vibes
you.
I'm getting,
Thank
you're
you.
going to be truly phenomenal as Barbara Gordon.
Thank
So
you.
you're very welcome. So for my very next question, so when you got casted in the role of Barbara, what were your emotions like when you got casted?
I was like, do I get to suit up? I mean, I was, for the first film when we did Nightmare, Brian Bowles, the director, asked me, Leanne, we want you involved. Which DC character would you like to play? And I said, Barbara Gordon. And he was like, Batgirl? And I was like, no, Barbara Gordon. Like, I wanted to portray the woman as the hero. And so it was a spin on the Killing Joke. And so I really respected her for what she overcame. And so that's who we portrayed in that film. And in this film, I was like, I want to suit up. I need to suit up. I need to suit up and fight some bad guys. So, so that's what's really exciting about this film is we're going to have a lot of action as well as some emotional throat punches. It's going to be really intense and nothing I think we've seen before with female character, a lead female character in a fan film. So I'm just saying that. I don't actually know. I've not seen all the fan films, but I've seen a few. So we're excited.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So what makes your Barbara Gordon different from other actresses that have played Barbara Gordon back in the day?
Mm. This is a tough question. I think it's so hard because every woman who plays this role is going to bring something different to the character. And I think, I mentioned in my first question, or the first answer was you kind of bring yourself into this film. And I think something that I'm going to bring that might be a little bit different is that I really don't want to hypersexualize this character. She wants to be one of the boys. She's already like smoking awesome because she's wearing a suit that she's not afraid to show her femininity and her womanness in that. But she's going to fight pretty aggressive and pretty hard. She wants to be accepted. She wants to prove herself. And so this whole character has many elements of me in it. And even the evolution to Oracle, there's still a transition in her understanding as what it means to be a hero, what it means to be a strong woman. And so I think that I'm going to bring some of my own understanding as a woman who's literally been through transitions like she has. She's a martial artist. She's very physical. She is smart. She went to study to be a librarian because she believes in information and access, and that all people should have access to information. And so she really cares about social justice. And I think these are all things that I can relate to. And I am going to bring those experiences into this character. I don't care just about her looking good. It's got to come from the inside first. I want people to see the role and be like, whoa, there's something different because of what's going on inside my character and in these moments in the film. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to bring. I don't care what you think attitude. I'm going to portray this person honestly. Yeah. So, yeah.
So for my very next question, why do you think people should watch Barbra when it gets released?
Oh my gosh. You should watch everything by B Squared Productions. Let me just highlight that. They're a small production company, and the quality of work that B Squared puts out is next level. We have such a talented director, Brian. He has such a clear vision of what he wants, and he won't settle. So when you get to that post-production element, he is very critical of making sure that all the points fit together. Sean is an excellent musical composer. We have great talent that are from the local, like from the Midwest. And so there's a lot of heart and a lot of commitment to the project, and I think it shows. So everybody should watch this, because I don't think that I've seen Barbra, in terms of like a fan film, really explored as a multi-dimensional person. Like in Birds of Prey was mainly like probably the closest thing in a series where we kind of got to see this other element of her, but it's going to be a shorter film and there's going to be a lot packed in there. So if you like action and fighting and jump scares and you want characters that you can relate to, this is going to be it. I care about people relating to my character. I want them to feel drawn into the story like they could be in it, yeah. So I think that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of filmmaking, is it's like I want people to feel involved in it while they're watching it. So
awesome. Sounds very.
I have notes, but I'm not even following them. I'm just like listening to you, enjoying talking to you. Like, yeah. So
well,
P Squared is awesome.
You got a really incredible vibe to yourself, and I'm already telling, like, you're gonna be one badass, like Barbra Gordon, like.
Dude,
really
I played roller derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I played roller derby for 10 years, man. I can take a hit. I'm just telling you, like, I get it. She it's, I get the physicality and of this character and her going into fight, and like I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I'm super thankful.
Well, I'm super proud for you. So you're gonna smash it in the role, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So on to my very next question. So what would be your favorite DC movie or series that you've watched, and why?
Oh, can I have more than one?
You may, yes.
Okay. So first, the Dark Knight series with Christian Bale, because this revolutionized Nolan revolutionized Batman from something like funny and entertaining to something real and dark, and like the internal struggle of humanity. And I thought it was just it really did set everything up to that was the bar. Once once those Dark Knight trilogy came out, it was like, this is the bar for DC filmmaking. And then Wonder Woman came out, and Patty Jenkins, I have such a respect for, because she took Gal Gadot, who's like 5'10", and she's trained in Israeli style fighting. I mean, and she's you know, she was 30, I think 32 when she played Wonder Woman, around that. But she picked a woman. Like, it wasn't a girl. It was a woman who was like, I've been around, like, I'm gonna kick some major butt here. And Patty Jenkins took this character and she didn't do anything overly gratuitous with her outfit. Like, it was very much designed to emphasize the strength of a female lead. And the other thing that I loved about Wonder Woman was it emphasized the strong female qualities of like compassion and kindness and self-sacrifice. And these are things that I think women see as like weaknesses, to not being able to hang or not being able to fight, but they're actually strengths that we have that men just don't have naturally to that extent. Men are compassionate and kind, but I think women often suppress this as a form of weakness. And watching Wonder Woman was her like just embracing it and just unleashing it. And I love that. I could go on, but I have a lot of respect for Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker as well. I don't care what people say. He was amazing. And like, if you appreciate method acting, you appreciate what he did. It's not for everybody, but that film in itself showed, you know, how society can really create something dark and push someone to do really dark things because of stigma towards mental illness, bullying, abuse. And I think it really shed light on that, and that it's an issue that starts very young. And so a villain doesn't just happen. So I really appreciate all of those arcs, which is why I love DC. They're not afraid to go there. So yeah.
So on to my very next question. So who would be your all-time favorite DC hero and why?
Barbara Gordon, clearly. Batgirl. And so it's a really close tie with Wonder Woman, but because Barbara is like, you know, not part God, she's fully human and like trained really hard and worked really hard. Same thing, you know, as Wonder Woman's character, but like she's human who just has conviction and wants to go out and help people and do the right thing. And to me, that really makes her a hero. And then post Killing Joke, I mean, what she overcame through paralysis, not just physically, but emotionally, and like, what is my identity and where do I go from here? I mean, to rise up from that is like next level strength, like next level hero. I mean, so to me, like she is, this character really embodies like the strength of a woman and is really inspiring. And she's just really human and a hard worker. And yeah, she has a photographic memory, you know, that probably helps with some things, you know, but honestly, like she would be my all-time favorite. That's why getting this role was like, wait, what? No way, do I get to suit up? Like, oh my gosh, this is next level. I'm freaking out. I got all these guys and I'm the only girl character. And I'm like, no pressure. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can do this. It's really okay. So
you got this. Female empowerment all the way.
Right. And I appreciate all the great guys that are on this cast. Like, I think a strong woman can work with strong guys, strong men. I mean, I think like, I have no problem. I might like tick some people off here, but I have no problem. Like, if I get a flat, I'm like, I could change it myself. But if a guy's gonna be like, hey, can I change that for him? Like, yeah, man, all the power to you. Like, you know, or opening a door for me. Like, yes, thank you. Like, I have no problem asking for help and like being assisted. And I think strong women can ask for help and also like really acknowledge and work with strong men. So I'm really thankful for this crew that we have in this cast, and they've got to be pretty strong to handle working with me, to tell you that. They've got the work cut out for them. So yeah.
So on to my very next question. So who would be your all-time favorite DC villain and why?
Oh, not DC, but like, does Darth Vader count as like?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
The tortured hero who went to the dark side, who like has a change of heart. That's my all-time favorite villain. But I mean, iconically, it has to be the Joker. I mean, and just because Brian Bowles plays him, that's what I love. Our director, he's phenomenal, does a phenomenal job. But I mean, he's the most twisted, unpredictable villain of the DC series. But my favorite villain of all time would have to be Darth Vader. I'm a sucker for somebody with conviction. I'm a sucker for that, and I love Star Wars. So
To actually let you know
not
about the
DC.
Joker, I actually used to, I actually used to create a web series called Heroes 4 with one of my good friends, and I actually used to play the role of the Joker. And the Joker is such a like an iconic depth role,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Mm-hmm.
was so hard to play the Joker back in the day, like in the series that I was in. And I was like, "What? How can I do this role as the Joker?" And yeah, I was like, "Wow, this is such an incredible role that I was in." And I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
this is incredible."
Yeah. So
But
many layers.
yeah,
Yeah. That's really cool.
yeah. So on to my very next question. So what were you like when you found out that Savannah Welsh got casted in the role of Batwoman Barbara Gordon in Titan
Yes.
Season 3?
Yes, I have a lot of respect for their casting choice on Savannah. I haven't seen a ton of work from her, but the work that I have seen, she's a solid, excellent like actress. But she is missing a limb. I mean, they literally cast somebody who maybe the industry would say is disadvantaged in some sort. And so like her level of being able to relate to this character is just, it's going to be very real, I think. She lost it in an accident, her leg in an accident. And so she's a hero, I think, an inspiration. And she's just going to translate that to the screen in this performance. I think it was an excellent decision. I mean, yeah, I'm so excited to see what she's going to bring and to see her like live out this character on screen. I really respect it, honestly. In this industry, I'm really glad they're diversifying and choosing actors, and they're not seeing people just for like a handicap, but they're seeing what they're capable of doing. So I respect that. Yeah.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So who inspired you as a person to get into acting in the first place?
Oh, I always like to perform. I was like always doing stuff, but I think my high school acting coach, my teacher Karen Towsley, was the biggest influence and instrumental in me pushing past the limits of what I thought I could do. She really created space at a young age as a teenager to explore and to challenge myself, to not be afraid, to be fearless on stage because it was theater, and she was an inspiration to me. And then when I didn't go get a degree for acting. I actually have a degree in science. I'm a big nerd, and I'm a personal trainer as well. So I kind of combine my degree into something physical to help people. But, my husband actually said, Leanne, you really should get back into acting. I was really plateaued. I felt like, I wanted to be challenged emotionally. I wanted to grow as a human being, and I really missed the arts. And he said, would you regret it if you didn't try? And I was like, I would. And 3 years later, I'm going to be Batgirl in a pretty cool film by an awesome production company. And there's so many other blessings that have come my way as a result of hard work and just being like, I don't want to have regrets. I want to tell people like, if you have a dream, like you have to commit to work hard to make it happen, and you have to really want it. So those two people, yeah. Karen Towsley and Steven Johnson.
So on to my very next question. So what have you learned about yourself as a person during COVID?
During COVID, resiliency. Yeah, I think there's a lot of temptation to allow your environment and your world to influence what you can do and what's possible. And I think that through this situation, it's really about understanding the resiliency of the human spirit, the desire that we have to create, to not give up, and the power of connection, that we really need each other. And personally, like, I'm an individual who struggles with mental health. And so what really hit me during this time was the importance of being able to ask for help and being okay when you're having a bad day, like to talk about it, to allow yourself to feel it, and then to let it go and move forward. So I really just learned that, you know, we're resilient, but we do need each other. We're not meant to be alone. So
on to my very next question for you. So what TV or movie franchise would you want to be in, and why?
TV or movie franchise?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so we already know that I love DC and would love to be like, yeah, you know, I'd love to team up with Batman, you know, and be Barbara Gordon and stuff. But, you know, they've got Titans going right now, so they're good for a while. I wouldn't mind like teaming up with Keanu and John Wick 4. It'd be cool. Do some Krav Maga, beat up some bad guys. So in case he's watching, Keanu, we should do that. John Wick. I know he's working on the Matrix, but it's got to be coming. I love that. I love that series. That's awesome. Brutal, fun. It's great. John Wick. Yes. Yeah.
So on to my very next question. So if your Barbara could team up with any DC character, who would it be and why?
Wonder Woman. Yeah. I mean, you've got the two best. You've got superhero god powers and like super vigilante street style, dirty, like smart, you know, they could combine their minds and powers and like totally. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised it hasn't happened. But Gal Gadot and Patty, I'm right here too. I'm ready whenever.
Easy. DC.
So, you know, I'm sure they're watching the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. They're like, what was this interview about? We have to watch this.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm available if that happens. I can clear my schedule. So,
so on to my very next question. So what are the positives and negatives into the acting industry, and how do you get through those negatives as a person?
What are the positives and negatives, and how do you get through the negatives?
Yeah.
Positives. Let's start there. I'm sure you know you're in the industry. It's fun to connect with other creatives. You're always learning. Every character I take on, I learn about somebody different. If I haven't gone through the experience, I usually connect with somebody and find out, you know, or multiple people. So I'm always meeting people who are different. I think we need to embrace that and seek to learn from each other and understand. And so that's a huge plus. I don't find that diversity really, you know, anywhere else than in film. So that's a real big plus. And then, you know, when you get to do your own stunts and stuff, like in moderation, that's pretty fun too. There's pluses to that. But you're always learning and pushing and challenging yourself. The negatives, I want to be careful here, but I want to say there's a lot of stereotypes that still exist. And so I think that as an actress, I really have to be intentional to step out of the box, like to step out of those stereotypes. And sometimes you lose a role, like it's happened. Sometimes you know, a director or filmmaker is like, this is how I see the character, pre-accepting the character. And you kind of have a discussion with them and you're like, you know, I really don't play one-dimensional characters. I'm going to make them multi-dimensional, even if I get like a basic character. And sometimes they don't like that. And then I'm done. I'm like, no, because I'm really interested in portraying truth and real people. And being real in those choices and those conflicts. And that's the filmmakers that I want to work with. So it's really a process of finding the types of filmmakers that fit with my style of acting. And it can be hard. It's a lot of rejection in the industry. So you have to have the heart of a rose and the skin of a rhino, you know? You have to be tough because the industry is tough. They're looking sometimes for specific types that you're not going to fit. You have to be encouraging of your friends that get those roles, even when it's hard, even when it's something that you wanted. You have to keep working and believing there's something better in store. So I think those are some negatives. And honestly, I'm really finding a lot of really awesome directors, both female and male, now who just are willing to see things from a bigger perspective. So I don't know if it's just the people I'm connecting with, but they're really good people. And so I'm really starting to see more of the positives and going towards that and kind of stepping away from those other things. I think you have to gravitate and move towards those whose vision aligns with yours. They don't have to agree with me, but the vision has to kind of align. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it answered really, really well. Awesome.
Okay.
So on to my very last question. So what is next for you, like for 2021, for like goal-wise, if you could announce on the show?
I mean, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it narrowed in. I mean, we have Barbra. We're filming the teaser next weekend, so it's actually the first thing coming up. I have stuff coming up after that for the next 2 months till we film Barbra, but this is the most recent thing. We're shooting the teaser, and we're gonna start kicking it out there for everybody to see and get hyped up about it. But we're filming that next weekend, and so I do want to announce. You know, stay on the lookout for B Squared. Like and follow, subscribe, people. Like, you know, like love on us and support indie filmmaking because there are so many talented people out here, and we just want to create, and we appreciate all the support. So that's the thing I want to announce. I mean, let's keep it narrowed in. You know, it's good stuff. So.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Leanne, for taking the time to come onto my show. It's been such a pleasure having a chat with you. To anyone that hasn't seen Leanne's work, definitely go support Leanne in Barbra. She's going to be such an incredible Barbra Gordon. Such an amazing vibe from yourself. It's truly incredible. Any last final thoughts or anything that you would like to say to people on the show?
Oh my gosh. I do. I want to say, you know, in talking about with our characters and talking about with Barbra and with Batgirl, if it's one thing that I've learned through studying this character and preparing for this character is, you know, this sounds really corny, but I'm gonna say it anyway because sometimes we need to hear it. But there is a hero inside of all of us, inside of everyone. And, you know, you don't have to be in a bat suit. You don't have to be, you know, what anybody says you should be. The power that you have is really in being yourself and looking at your strengths and being kind and how you help people. And a little plug, I just watched Land last night with Robin Wright, and it was phenomenal. And one of the lines that the Academy Award winner who plays a supporting role in that film said, she said, "Why did you help me?" And he was like, "You were in my path." And I think that was really wise, and that, you know, whoever is in our path, just be kind and encourage one another. Like, you were in my path. I was in your path. You invited me on your show. Like, so it's exciting and it's fun and it's supportive. So, you know, whoever you are, wherever you are, who is in your path, and be kind and be a hero for somebody. And that's all I want to say. So.